In this tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to use the magnetic lasso to select a subject or an object and move it from one image to another. To get started, you'll want to have the image with the object or subject you'd like to move open in Photoshop. And you'll also need to have the background image where you're moving it to open in Photoshop as well. Okay, so what you'll do first is find the magnetic lasso tool over in the menu on the left-hand side. It might be hidden under the regular lasso tool, and to find that menu option that says magnetic lasso, you'll need to click and hold, and then just do a regular click on the magnetic lasso tool. To use this tool, it really makes sense to zoom in. You can go to the view menu and click zoom in, or you can use whatever the shortcut is listed on your computer. It's different depending on whether you're using a Mac or a PC. And you want to make sure that you can see, or I should say it's easier if you can make sure that you see the entire subject or object that you're trying to move all in one place, okay? What you'll do for the magnetic lasso is take your mouse and choose a starting point. I like to generally start at the top of the person or the object. So you're going to click, and then you'll drag your mouse around the perimeter. Then you'll drag your mouse around the perimeter of the object or subject. And you're going to go nice and slowly, tracing as best you can. Sometimes, like right there, it didn't go so well, but that's okay. Just nice and slow, tracing all the way around. It's definitely a tedious task. Definitely easier if you're seated using a mouse on a computer with a big enough screen where you can see what you're doing. Definitely easier if you are resting your elbow on the table as you try to do this. If you're trying to hold up your arm, you're going to have a very sore shoulder at the end of this. Now, this object or zombie, it's imperfect because I don't see the full person. So I'm just tracing along the bottom of the image, and that's okay. I will have to strategically place the zombie in my background image, and that's okay. Now you might notice that you're hearing me click at some points in this. When I get to a point where I think the computer might be confused about which path to travel, I can click, and I can cause those little squares to be created. And that's me guiding the computer through the tricky areas. And as you practice with magnetic lasso and all of these other selection tools, you'll begin to predict when the computer is going to get confused about what path to follow, and you'll be able to prevent the confusion by clicking where you need to click and doing what you need to do. When you get back to the beginning, you're going to click on the square where you first started. And when you do that, then those little squares will turn into marching ants. And from here, you can simply put the move tool in your hand, click, hold, and drag to the other tab and release. And of course, you can edit, free transform to resize, and move this object to a place that makes sense. You also want to make sure that you rename this layer. All right, So that is how you use the magnetic lasso to move an object from one image to another. All right, that's it for today. Happy editing.